Well, the Dodgers have that revolving door at second base, and there may be something coming out of Cincinnati. What's up, everybody? I'm Jim Rodriguez, and welcome to the weekend, and welcome to Dodgers Latest. So very happy that you're part of our day. Remember to hit me up right there, J-Rod Show on Instagram and on X. And, of course, continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the thumbs up button here on our YouTube page as we continue to grow, getting inching so close to these milestones in terms of viewership, in terms of subscribers. And it's all because of you. And, of course, we're going to hear from you today. And I love that. I just love sitting back, going on the YouTube page and reading everybody's comments and you guys talking amongst each other, really creating a community here on Dodgers Latest. And we really appreciate it. And let's start with, well, as we get closer, turning the corner towards spring training, and the Dodgers, well, they may have an injury that they're going to have to worry about. That's right. Tommy Edman had his ankle surgically repaired. It kept him out of a big chunk of games. Only played in 97 games last year. He did, though, in those 97 games when he was healthy, he matched a career high with his 13 home runs, also had 13 doubles, and the 24 NLCS MVP. Well, he may have to start the season on the injured list. That's right. He had his ankle surgically repaired. It's not coming together as quickly as they'd like. Dodgers are saying they're going to take a very conservative approach with the ankle. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. They don't want him to miss any more time than needed. So Tommy Edman may start the year on the injured list. It'll be interesting to see how much spring training he gets. And, of course, how will that affect him? In other words, if he can't play in spring training and then the season starts, well, he's going to be behind there. The Dodgers already have Kike Hernandez, who is unsigned, by the way, but he's going to miss the first month of the season after his elbow was surgically repaired. So it's interesting, what's going on in the injury front, and I've been saying it for a while. Second base is the part of this team that's kind of scary to me. It's a revolving door out there. So if Tommy Edman, who was supposed to be the everyday second baseman, isn't there, I guess then the question is, who is going to play second base? Well, the Dodgers did a real kind of low-key move. They've signed infielder Andy Ibanez. The Cuban is a middle infielder, can play a little second, can play some third, can even play some outfielder. Spent some time with the Tigers last year, 5 years in the big leagues, also played with the Rangers. He's a right-handed hitter, so at least as of right now, it looks like it's going to be some sort of a platoon with World Series hero Miguel Rojas, Andy Ibanez, maybe Hassan Kim, maybe Alex Freeland, maybe those guys are all going to be in there. But again, that's what makes it a revolving door, right? And right now, that's a lot of right-handed bats. So we'll see what the Dodgers end up doing. I'm not saying they're going to go out and make a trade, but we'll see how Tommy Edman's surgically repaired ankle is coming along as we get into February, March, and of course, once the season starts, March 26th against the Diamondbacks. So second base, that's the part that's really got me kind of going, oh boy. And we wish Tommy all the best because, again, he was on his way to a career year. And Tommy's going to be 31 years old. He's got that 5-year, $74 million contract from the Dodgers after they acquired him from the Cardinals. Remember when the Dodgers got Tommy, he was on the injured list. Got well, came up, and had an unbelievable end of 24 and had a great NLCS, won the MVP, and the Dodgers awarded him with a big contract extension. So, Tommy, get well, get that ankle well. We definitely need you over there at second base with some pop in that bat. Now, maybe something, maybe nothing. That's a game my good friend Brendan Tobin down at a local Miami station plays on his radio show, but this is going to be an interesting situation, something to look forward to over the next couple of years, and that is with all-star shortstop Elly De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, obviously the Dodgers, they got Kyle Tucker. We've gotten, Shohei Ohtani before that. Sasaki, Yamamoto, Freddie Freeman started with the trade with Mookie Betts. But Elly De La Cruz is about to start his third full season in the big leagues. He's going to be 20. He just turned 24. Played at least 160 games the last 2 seasons, so he's durable. And the Reds, we're hearing now that at the beginning of spring training last year, 2025 spring training, The Reds offered Elly De La Cruz the largest contract in the history of the organization, and Elly De La Cruz turned it down. Now, we don't know the exact numbers, but we know the largest contract in Cincinnati Reds history was given to Joey Votto, who got a 10-year, $225 million deal back in 2012. So this one is at least $1 more than Joey's 10-year, $225, and Elly De La Cruz turned it down. Now, makes kind of sense, right? He's 24. He's now he's going to start the arbitration part of his career, and he can't become a free agent until after 2029. But Elly De La Cruz is also the 5th player in the history of the game to have 20 home runs and 60 stolen bases in a single season. He is 6'5", 200 pounds, 2-time All-Star, cannon for an arm, and pretty much the new up-and-coming next best great thing in baseball. That's what we're thinking. And he's Dominican, and his agent is Scott Boras. And we know Scott Boras doesn't like extensions, likes to play things out. So interesting to see how this develops. Now, what happens is now Elly can go to arbitration. He'll be, kind of like we were talking about Andy Pages the other day. They have him under control for at least through 2029. Now, they can offer him a big deal like they did. And it's curious that he turned it down. Now, he has shown and he has said that the Dodgers would be an interesting situation. It's so funny. I feel like the Dodgers don't even need to call players anymore. The players call the Dodgers. Now, Elly De La Cruz 3 years from now, 4 years from now, playing shortstop for the Dodgers or playing third base for the Dodgers. Oh, buddy, get those haters ready. But interesting situation. And now De La Cruz, the only thing that I kind of gave people some pause was that his defense kind of really fell off a cliff last year. Offense was still about the same. 24 was his best year in the big leagues. That's where he had the 67 stolen bases and 25 home runs. Had about almost 40 stolen bases last year, still hit in the 20s in terms of home runs. But last year he was nursing a bad quad, and his defense fell off a cliff. Wasn't very good. A lot of errors, and maybe it was the quad, maybe he was throwing off, pivoting or running, whatever it was. He was having a lot of problems with his left quad, and it really made an impact on his defense. Now, we'll see what a healthy Elly De La Cruz can bring. And plus, the fact that he was still banged up for most of the season and he played 162 games tells you what a gamer he is. But keep that in your back pocket. Elly De La Cruz had a chance to make some mint, turned it down. That doesn't mean the Dodgers are going to get him, and they can't get him for a while. But I'll tell you what, if we get closer to his free agency time, maybe there's a trade in there. Interesting to see what happens with Elly De La Cruz. So stay tuned and keep an eye out on that. And of course, we know Freddie Peralta is not coming to the Dodgers. Freddie Peralta was traded to the Mets. Boy, Mets are on fire, right? They are not going to be denied. Interesting to see how that works out with there. And of course, we always want you to be part of the show. You're the very best part of Dodgers Latest. And of course, Michael Tucker, being a Dodger, had his first press conference, was introduced wearing number 23. And yeah, Tucker's numbers will be good on this team. More runners on base, better pitches to hit. Absolutely. Listen, the best thing about Kyle Tucker in this situation with this team is that Kyle Tucker doesn't have to be the alpha. He doesn't have to be the superstar on that team. That's Shohei. That's Mookie. That's Freddie. Those are those guys. You know what I mean? He can just be a dude. He can be a dude who all of a sudden can give you 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, 40 doubles, and have an MVP type season. And there's got to be such peace with that, right? That you don't have to carry the club. You're not on the front of the media guide or any of that stuff. So it's interesting to see what he will do and where they end up finally hitting him in the lineup. Now, I'm glad y'all are concerned about me. J-Rod, drink some water before you start this. Yeah, I got a little froggy the other day. I had a little flepsy. Yeah, we always get some water going, so I appreciate you looking out for me. Yeah, hey, man, what do you want? Cigars, scotch, at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all looking out for me there. So that did make me laugh. Hey, it just tells you I read them all. I read all the comments and love that you're hanging out with us here in the community. Remember, hit me up right there, Instagram and an X at JRod Show, and continue to like, subscribe, share. Let me know what's going on with your show, and I love again the conversations you guys have with each other here on Dodgers Latest. So yeah, spring training is coming. Dodgers say that the pitching is all we're good. This is the club we have as we go into spring training. Curious to see what's going to happen at second base, though, if Tommy Edman isn't able to answer the bell come opening day, if he ends up starting on the injured list, what they end up doing there. So either way, Elly De La Cruz, I see you, my friend. We'll see how that turns out. I'm Jim Rodriguez, and remember, it's always time for Dodger baseball.